Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the laws of Kashrus by Binyamin Forst. My apologies for the long delays. Baruch Hashem, I was zeicher to be in Eretz Yisrael for a week, and we got very busy in living the Kiddush of Eretz Yisrael and ran out of time almost every single day to sit and learn and make the recordings for these shiurim. But now we're back, and Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach, we will continue to push our way through these very important halachas. And he says like this. This section is titled Din Maichali Stamesh and is Bashalim Basar. It's called food that's Pareve food, perhaps. That's not meat or milk, but it's cooked together with basar, cooked together with meat, and you eat it and you don't have the conditions of the meat getting stuck in your teeth, or even the shuman, even the fattiness and the oils of the meat getting in your mouth and lingering around for a long time. Are you allowed to eat milk afterwards? Someone who didn't eat meat itself, they ate a type of a food. They ate something that doesn't have meat nor milk. Well, what does that mean? It was cooked together with meat. Let's say it was a very liquidy broth, a meaty broth. And even though, as we said, the two reasons that we mentioned before of either the meat getting stuck in your mouth or the shamnunis or the fattiness of the meat lingering around in your mouth, that doesn't exist over here. Let's say you ate a carrot from a piece of chicken soup. You don't have to worry about that. Nevertheless, the custom is we still do not eat cheese or dairy products after eating this Fleishig dish, we'll call it. Or you will not drink milk. Or eat anything that has milk in it, or cheese, or even something that was cooked together with cheese, you will not eat after this. So once that it has a halachic status of being fleishig, and I think that would be the case that we could say over here. For example, you have a pot of chicken soup, and it's the broth is being made because let's say that there's chicken bones and a little bit of chicken meat that's in there, and you now eat the liquid of that soup, so you don't have to worry about meat getting stuck in your mouth. There's no real shamnunis, there's no real fattiness or oils over there that's in the soup itself that's lingering around in your mouth. Nevertheless, you still become fleishig, which means you still become a person that is considered to have eaten meat, and therefore the halach is you have to wait 6 hours between then and that what you're going to eat, milchig, any kind of dairy meal afterwards. That's one thing he says today. But here's another case. What about if you cooked some kind of a pareve food, which means pareve means that it's not meat or it's not milk, but you cooked it in a pot or a pan that we call a Fleishig pot or pan. That means it's a pot or pan that Fleishig's meat has been cooked in there previously, but is not cooking in there right now while you're cooking this. If you cook a regular kind of a food in a pan or a pot that has been used for meat, there are two questions that we have to clarify. First of all, do you have to wait 6 hours between this food? Let's say, for example, you cook potatoes, which are pareve, they're not meat and they're not milk. You cook it in a pan that was a fleishig pan used for meat. And the pan, let's say, he's going to explain what that is. And now you want to know, you ate those potatoes, do you have to wait 6 hours now before you can eat meat, before you can eat milchig products? Secondly, the second question is, could you eat dairy products together with this pareve food product which was cooked in the fleishig, in the meaty pan? Are you allowed to do that? So two questions. Number one, can you eat dairy products right after you eat this pareve product? And number two, even more so, could you eat the dairy products together with this food product, which is pareve, but cooked in a fleishig, in a meaty pan? So he says like this. According to the first question, nifsak, the psak, the halachic ruling in the Shulchan Aruch is like this: Sha'afilim lo hudcha keder yofe le'achar bishul basar. Even if you didn't clean the Fleishig pan so well after you used it, and some of the oils of the meat remains on the walls of the pot or the pan that you are cooking your potatoes in right now. Nevertheless, you are going to be allowed to eat dairy products immediately afterwards, even without rinsing out your mouth in that case. So this is a very big leniency that we have in the halacha, and that is that since you're never really putting the meaty product into your mouth, there's just food that is pareve, that is not meat and not milk, that was cooked in this pan. Even if the pan was not cleaned out so well, there's still some residue that's on the walls of the pan. We don't call that potato a Fleishig potato, and therefore you would then be allowed right afterwards, not at the same time in your mouth, but right afterwards, you would be allowed to go then and eat milk products. You did not become Fleishig as a result of that. That's a very big halacha that a person has to keep in mind, because these things are things that happen on somewhat of a regular basis when you're cooking in your kitchen, even when you go to certain restaurants, and the restaurants, you eat food that's cooked in a Fleishig restaurant, and you eat from their kalim, from their vessels that were cooked in, and even though the food is pareve, you want to know, are you Fleishig or not? The answer over here is that you're not Fleishig. If you'll know that the pan was basically clean, but there was still, even though there was residual oil that was left on, residue that was left on, you're not meaty, you're not Fleishig, and therefore you can eat dairy products afterwards. Second question, are you allowed to eat the milk products together with this pareve product that was cooked in Fleishigs? That will have to wait until tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.